Hey, what's up guys, it's Hoodamaniac360 and welcome back to StarWarsThon, the series where I review every Star Wars film until The Rise of Skywalker. And today's movie is my personal favorite Star Wars film, The Empire Strikes Back. So let's get this started. So like I said before, Empire Strikes Back is my #1 favorite Star Wars movie. I find it interesting that we get to experience what really happened to Luke's father, but we'll get to that later. So the movie starts off with Luke getting Jesus fucking Christ, already? Damn. Okay, so Han and Leia realize Luke is gone and no one knows where he is, so Han sends a search party for him. Meanwhile, with Luke, he's going to be the monster's dinner, so he gets his lightsaber, cuts off the monster's arm, and escapes. But Luke can't survive the weather. By the way, they're on a snowy planet. But before Luke passes out, he sees a vision of Obi-Wan, who tells Luke to go to the Dagobah systems to find a very powerful Jedi Master named Yoda to finish his training. After he disappears, Han finds Luke and brings him back to the base, and after they heal him, Han and Leia have a big fight. Leia kisses Luke, and Luke does this. Anyways, Luke tells everyone about the vision, and he leaves for the Dagobah systems and takes R2-D2 with him. Meanwhile, Darth Vader shows up on the planet, so Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO get the fuck out of there. When Luke goes to the Dagobah systems, he lands on a swampy planet.
What are you doing in my swamp?
And finds a green creature who asks Luke why he's there. Also, this green guy is a bit of an annoyance to Luke. Luke then tells the green guy that he's looking for a Jedi Master called Yoda. The green guy tells Luke that he knows Yoda, and he'll take him to him. But first he takes him to his home. Luke gets impatient and yells at him. Then the green guy says he can't teach him because he's impatient. Then out of the blue, Obi-Wan's ghost starts talking to the green guy. Turns out the green guy is Yoda. Luke eventually does convince Yoda to train him, and the training alone is my second favorite scene in the whole movie. We'll get to my favorite scenes soon. Yoda tells Luke to go in a certain part of the swamp where he finds a vision of Darth Vader. They fight, and Luke cuts off his head, and it rolls on the floor. The mask explodes, and it reveals Luke. So you're probably thinking, what the fuck does this mean? Well, it's a symbol of a possible future that if Luke doesn't stay in the light, then he'll go to the dark side. Now, this scene is also pretty cool. Yoda tells Luke to use the Force to get the ship out of the water. Luke tries, but fails. Then Yoda tries and Luke has a vision of Han and Leia in trouble and possibly dying, so he leaves and Obi-Wan's ghost shows up and says that Luke is their last hope, and Yoda says this.
No, there is another.
For those of you who don't know whom he's talking about, you can either watch Return of the Jedi or wait until I review it. Also, meanwhile with the others, they don't know where to go because Darth Vader might find them, but Han has an idea to go to one of his old friend's planet. His name is Lando Calrissian and is a gambler. So when they get there, Lando greets them and he seems okay until they find out that Darth Vader is already there and already made a deal with Lando and he had no choice but to accept. They eventually froze Han Solo in carbonite, but he was still alive, so they sent him over to a gangster named Jabba the Hutt. You'll find out who he is next time. But then with a change of heart, Lando decided to free Leia, Chewbacca, and C-3PO. They don't trust him at first, but they eventually do and leave. But then Luke and R2 show up on that planet. R2 escapes with everyone while Luke meets Darth Vader and lightsaber fights him. But he's getting his ass kicked, unfortunately. They eventually fight on a bridge, but it stops at the very middle of a possible bottomless pit. Then Vader cuts off Luke's hand, and I'm surprised he's not bleeding. And finally, Darth Vader tells Luke the truth about his father.
I am your father.
So he gives Luke a chance to join him or die. And what does Luke do? He jumps down the pit thinking he's committing suicide. And just the fact that Luke would rather die than join the dark side just makes him a true hero. But of course he doesn't die. In fact, there's a little tube connected to the wall that he falls in, and it leads him outside, but he's dangling on an antenna. So he tries to talk to Obi-Wan's ghost through the Force in his mind, but it doesn't work. So he tries to contact Leia, and believe it or not, it works. And she tells everyone to go back, so they save him, fix his hand, and go back into hiding, for now. And that's the end of the movie. It ends on a cliffhanger. Tune in next time when I review the final chapter in the trilogy, Return of the Jedi.